Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Schermer with the Virgo new moon message. The Virgo new moon occurs tomorrow morning. That is Thursday, September 17th at 4 a.m. And I am so thrilled to be with you today. We are at an extraordinary new threshold. We are in a new place, and we have risen as together as a human family. We have crossed so many significant thresholds in the last 6 months. And really, since this year began, 2020, it's a remarkable year of transition. For those of you who are feeling the shift and are feeling the exhilaration of the new platform on which we stand, I am asking you to hold space with me for the confidence that we're feeling right now. My guides are showing me every day and for the last, 2 or 3 weeks that we really have crossed a threshold into a new coherence of what we are building together. Now, that doesn't mean that the new coherence and the threshold is necessarily showing up in physical circumstances, because it always takes time in this world for the 3D world of form, for the world of form to catch up to where our consciousness is sitting in the near future. And as we accelerate and evolve in our consciousness, we are more and more bridging worlds. And we have one foot in what we call 5D, the world of the heart, the world of coherence, the world where we have transcended fear and illusions of separation and are able to hold compassion for ourselves and each other. The world that we are building together, what some of us call the new earth. This world now is here in our very, very near future, the next threshold of this world. While in the current physical world of form, we are still experiencing a fair amount of chaos and suffering and trauma. And I'm not laughing to minimize it. I'm saying that we are in this balancing act, this seesaw with a foot in both worlds. What is really important for those of us in this spiritual path and on this leading edge is that we trust the world that we are stepping into. I'm about to sneeze. That always signals an exclamation point. If I actually sneeze, the sneeze came on when I said trust the world that you have a foot in. The world of trust and coherence, when you can feel calm on the inside, when you feel excited and exhilarated on the inside, you know you are in that new reality. And then what is important, this isn't about escaping, we need to keep one foot in the world that we are serving all together, of clearing up, bringing our house to order, clearing the old patterns and holding space for what's being revealed in order to heal together. I feel the entire history of at least the last 12 or 13,000 years is being revealed now in both within ourselves and within our collective and within the patterns that are being exposed of imbalance, of corruption, of slavery, of many forms, and of basically a domination of fear. And so my intention here in this message today is to bring you a message of encouragement and hope, because the hope is very real in the moment. The healing is happening, we're doing it, and our non-physical guides and our higher selves are so encouraging right now. So if you're not feeling that right now, if you're feeling confused or disillusioned or fearful, it's not to minimize those emotions. I'm hoping that this message will bring you encouragement and a perspective to help you find a stronger point of balance in yourself to navigate your own challenges. So as we begin, everyone take a breath. Breath is key to the underlying signature of this new moon, actually. Take a breath and let's ask for each person receiving these messages, whether physically or energetically, to receive exactly what they need, that all questions be met, all needs answered, with love and trust in the highest and best for all. Okay, So I'll start a bit by just reminding us that astrology, this exploration of new moons and full moons every 2 weeks, enables us to access the next point of our threshold. The lunar cycle holds a cycle of growth that's very personal for us. By embedding and connecting with the specific energies of each lunar cycle, you can better align your own energies and adjust your own energies to maximize your opportunities and maximize the new momentum. By understanding whatever challenges exist, you can turn those challenges into opportunities. So the first thing I'd like to talk about is let me take a breath. There's so much here, and I want to do my best to synthesize. The new moon. The opportunity of the new moon is a new beginning. So every new moon, no matter how challenging the last month has been, no matter how badly maybe I missed the mark and got off track, every new moon is a new beginning. And this new moon reading is intended to give an overlying signature for the coming 28 days of creation. So it's not necessary for you to access it, excuse me, immediately when it comes through. Whenever you hear this message, it's the right time. And often people find it helpful to refer to these messages through time. So it's not just a one day. This is not a one-day reading. This message I'm getting is definitely for the coming month, and especially for the transition into the fall. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to do is just use the tarot cards to explain a little bit about the power of Virgo. This is a Virgo new moon. We're in the final 5 days of Virgo. The new moon happens at 26 Virgo. So this is a culmination and a concentration of the energies of Virgo, which are the completion of the first 6-month cycle of the astrological year. And interestingly, this cycle also initiated the beginning of the quarantine and the beginning of the intensity of this pressure cooker we've all been in as a planet for the last 6 or 7 months. So Virgo represents the rising of the individual. And I just want to quickly give you an impression here of the cycle of the year to show you that when the spring equinox happens, this is the symbol for Aries, when the spring equinox happens on March 20th, 21st, what happens is the beginning of the first half of the year, which is a cycle of personal growth. We are now in Virgo, coming up on the fall equinox, which will be happening next week. And so we're in the last days of Virgo, in the last days of this 6-month period of personal growth and development. This happens every year when we have a chance to revisit our own individual growth. What happens at fall equinox is we cross a big threshold and move into a period of participation with others. And what this means is new qualities of collaboration, new qualities of connection, and new understandings of how to step into relationship, bringing your full self so that you can be fully present and also fully participating. And so this cycle, this new moon, and the threshold we're anticipating next week is the opportunity to bring forward everything you've learned, especially this year, and then carry it forward into the season of new creation by participating with others this fall in new projects, new endeavors, and of course we obviously all have a lot of work to do to show up for the challenges that face us. What that means is the new creations that are awaiting. So Virgo is Virgo is represented in the tarot by the Hermit, and the Hermit represents as an abstract painting of the teacher Thoth, for whom this deck is named. Thoth is our wisdom teacher through the ages, going back to before the written history of this world, through the times of Atlantis and into ancient Egypt and to the present time. And so Thoth is pictured here representing you as your own wisdom teacher, your ability now to take your own path, to light your own way. The figure of the hermit is guided by their own lantern. This represents your inner guidance and your illumination. I'm rubbing my belly here to say that the sun that fills this lantern is also your own inner sun, your solar plexus, your illuminated courage, as well as the illumination of your third eye. It's the illumination of your entire body with your own confidence and courage and your willingness to trust your guidance. And so Thoth represents you. Thoth also represents your connection to your inner teacher, to your inner sage. And an important part of this card that we will refer to in a few minutes is the three-headed dog that's dancing with Thoth and following Thoth. This is the three-headed dog who traditionally guards hell, Hades, and the representation here is there is no longer any fear of the shadow. We are comfortable and confident now. We have faced our shadow and we are ready to move forward, bringing our shadow with us in as a companion, a trusted companion. So I'm going to say a little bit more about this when we get to the astrology chart, because that's a big part of the chart and the key teachings within the chart. Two more quick points are the court card for Virgo is the Knight of Discs, and this is a representation of personal mastery in the physical realm. So this is authority of health and healing and material well-being through courage and confidence and an ability to use your tools in practical ways now to manifest and create what you need. So this is also a card of leadership. It has to do with showing up with authority, and the word that I always feel with this card is sovereignty. And by sovereignty I mean claiming your home in this world. This is a key aspect that is necessary for all of us right now, and also an important part of the new moon chart, to be clear and firm in your authority to be here as a sovereign being of light in a body in this world. And then the final card on the altar now for Virgo is the Ten of Discs, wealth. This is the minor arcana card for 26 Virgo, and this represents, along with the Knight, a culmination of your understanding that we are sovereign beings of light in this world, that wealth and abundance are here for us and for everyone, and that wealth exists in the material world as well as in the world of consciousness. And we are exploring these principles now. And what I'm receiving as a message for the card of wealth is the claiming well-being for all peoples. What is important now as we evolve as a human family is the commitment that all beings here, human and our animal friends, our plant friends, we are a community. All beings are sovereign in this world, and all are entitled to abundant health and well-being and freedom. So that's the vision that we carry forward, and that's the vision that I am bringing to our new moon message. Okay, so I want to say just a little bit about the chart, and then we'll dive into the spread, which was really inspiring today. Here's our new moon chart. The new moon is here. The sun and moon are conjunct at 26 Virgo, and then immediately opposed, this solid red line that goes this way, is Neptune. If you followed my full moon message for Pisces 2 weeks ago, or any other full moon messages, you know that the full moon was a kite with Pisces, and the moon over here opposed the sun. And so now Neptune, the moon and Neptune in Pisces opposed the sun at the full moon, and now the moon has traveled halfway around and has joined the sun opposed Neptune. So Neptune rules Pisces, which is why I keep saying Neptune Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. It's at home there, and this opposition with the sun is illuminating whatever we need to realize in order to fully claim our sovereignty here, in order to fully claim our health and our abundant well-being, and everyone's right here to freedom and truth and liberty and life. And so the Neptune reveals the shadow and can create fear for whatever we're not ready to deal with. And so the interesting signature of this full moon is the further activation of shadow, and this very much is a continuation of the full moon 2 weeks ago, which was a chart of shadow. So I want to show you the card for Neptune because this is a very helpful teaching as we're learning to work with what we call shadow. This is the Hanged Man, and what's represented here, and it represents Neptune, what's represented here is the ability to surrender what we thought of reality, what we thought reality was, in order to see things from a new perspective. So this person is looking at the world upside down, being held in the Ankh, which is the symbol of eternal life, and see the beautiful sun above, and raise his crown chakra. This person's crown chakra is going into their own wisdom and the wisdom of the earth, through their crown chakra down into the earth. And so this represents the surrender of what we thought we knew in order to see from a higher perspective. It represents spiritual evolution, and that's absolutely the signature of this new moon. The opportunity to evolve spiritually. That's the symbol, the actual Sabian symbol for 26 Virgo is youth, waving the censer, the incense in a traditional church ceremony as part of the ceremony. And so this represents us stepping to a new level of participation in the world. We are the youth. We are crossing a new threshold into a new understanding of the sacredness of life and the way we can bring spiritual principles and new evolved understanding to our world and to our circumstances. So I'd like to say a little bit now about the cards that I pulled for our new moon reading. So let me take away the cards for Virgo and show you our spread. It is one of those spreads that I think this happened also for the Pisces full moon 2 weeks ago. It really just practically flew out of the deck. It was so easy when I sat. I've been meditating on this chart for a couple days, and when I sat down earlier today to pull the cards, they just fell from the deck practically, and they're very much in alignment with this new moon. So the card in the middle is the Hermit. So whenever this happens, when we get the card in the position of mind for the actual major arcana card for the new moon, this signifies a new level of mastery. You directly have access to the teachings and to the qualities of personal mastery that are available to you at this time. Virgo represents, one of the themes of Virgo is education, and what education means is being the student of your own life, walking your own path, trusting your inner guidance, this lamp, this light, this lantern, and releasing attachment to external authority. This is huge right now. Trusting your inner authority and trusting the companions with whom you travel. Now, I'm going to say a little bit about the shadow, the three-headed dog that's dancing with the Hermit. The big signature now is to be able to face our fears in new ways. Fear is the tool of the warrior. Fear is present, the shadow, the old fears are present in this card because we have learned how to befriend our fears and travel with our fears. When we give our fear away, or when we collapse into fear, we lose our power. And so the big important opportunity during this lunar cycle is to go to the next level, whatever it is for you, in harnessing your fear. Fear is the tool of the warrior. Warriors embrace fear. Fear is their teacher. They, as a warrior, and each of you we are warriors, the key is to learn to listen to your fear, take your fear inside, and see what your fear has to say to you. That's the power of fear. It always has something to say. If we haven't learned to listen or trust our inner authority, then fear can lead to an experience of a loss of control or a insecurity, feeling not safe. And in that case, then we are likely to give our power or authority away to someone else. That's the history really of this world and the pattern of being coached to allow other people to make decisions for us. So the time has come for us to own our sovereignty, to celebrate our power, and to claim our fears as part of our power tools, to learn from fear. And what is coming in right now that's really important is to not attempt to do this journey alone. The hermit doesn't signify that you are a solitary being. It signifies that you have owned the responsibility for your own journey, that you claim your destiny, you claim your path of devotion, your path of service, and the brilliance of it. It doesn't mean you have to travel alone. In fact, it's not healthy right now for most of us to travel alone. We need to share this journey, to explore. We need friendship. We need trusted warriors to travel with. So I want to make sure that you don't think that this is an isolation experience. So embracing the shadow, befriending the shadow, learning from the shadow as a way to heal within. Virgo rules the intestines in our body. And what that signifies is the root of alchemy of consciousness and becoming a conscious being is to heal. And the way that happens is by digesting our own experiences, digesting our emotions, digesting our insights. Wisdom becomes understanding when it becomes embodied, and that happens through digesting for ourselves what our own truth is. For you, digesting what your truth is, that's how you heal. And this is the part of the process that's very individual. So there's much opportunity for healing right now, and this is why Virgo is very often associated with healing. Excuse me, I just bumped the table. Virgo is often associated with healing because of this ability to digest for ourselves our own medicine. And that includes learning from our fear. So the other two cards illustrate more teachings about how to show up for fear right now and how to show up for healing. The Prince of Discs in the position of circumstances and the body is a powerful expression of the Knight of Discs. The Prince of Discs rules Taurus, for those of you who follow astrology, and what he represents is a new quality of inspiration, a new initiation into the mastery that we were talking about with the Knight, a new understanding of, and a new inspired commitment to your own health, to your own well-being, to your own thriving, and also to concrete actions that you can take moving forward, to practical, concrete ways every day to strengthen your own tools and to strengthen your own commitment and to strengthen your own focus. There's an element of discipline that's required right now to avoid getting caught up in chaos and getting caught up in distraction and getting caught up in narratives that are designed to pull you out of center. The Prince of Discs is saying you have the commitment you need right now to harness your commitment to stay focused and present and healthy. And this is emphasized in the position of spirit, which is the Seven of Wands, called Valor. A beautiful card. Valor represents your commitment to yourself. The six wands in the background represent your aligned, I call it coherence, a stable energy system, stable consciousness, stable focus, stable willpower. And then that central wand is vibrating and sparking with life. And that represents the challenge and also the inspiration and the exhilaration of showing up with your willpower to navigate times of change. Sevens represent transformation, transcendence, and change, and all the processes of life. So in the position of spirit, this is saying to ask for help and to rely on source and believe, this was it. Believe in the unseen world. The sevens are Numbers of process, they don't exist in physical form. So you are called right now to be fully present in practical ways in the world, and then to place your vision and your inspiration and your trust in the unseen. That's the key to this reading right now. And then to use your tools to follow your light and befriend your fears. Okay? So that's the practical message. And then there's one more punchline card, which is beautiful, which is the Magician. You know, I always like to draw a fourth card in the center to say something else to consider. And you can think of it as the companion card to the Hermit. The Magician there's a couple of synchronicities with this message. First, it absolutely signifies a new threshold, a new beginning, a fresh start. And then also in astrology, it's the card for Mercury, and Mercury rules Virgo. So there's a very special relationship between the Hermit, or between the you, Virgo, on your path, and the Magus, you being the Magician. This represents your ability to focus, to again trust in the unseen, what has not yet manifest, and your ability to be a full participant through the power of your mind. Virgo harnesses the power of our mind to focus and apply our tools in practical ways in our lives. And so the message that is coming through right now from the Magus for all of us as a punchline and a keynote to carry forward is, remember that where you put your focus is what you create. Where you put your focus is what you amplify, and where you put your focus is how you participate. And so it's really important right now for us to be very, very mindful and very disciplined, which is the gift of Virgo, is discipline, to be very mindful and disciplined about where we put our focus. We are called now, we're being seduced through fear and distraction and chaos to put our focus elsewhere and to give attention to basically what we don't want, to the chaos. Pull your attention back. Give focus to congruence, to love, to compassion, and find conversations with trusted people to focus on visions of confidence and hope and clarity. And through those conversations and through that coherence, you will receive insights into practical actions that you can take every day. But the first thing is to get back to congruence and hope and calm and trust within. From there, you will know what to do. And then I said about breathing, remember to breathe. The element associated with the warrior, the superpower of the warrior is facing fear. And we are being called now to face our fears. And the element associated with the warrior is air, breath, clarity, insight. So breathe. Remember to breathe. When we become afraid, we forget to breathe. Our breathing becomes shallow. We lose inspiration. We lose vitality. And even now, with a variety of circumstances, our breath has been diminished for months. And now with air quality, it's diminished more. So it can bring up grief and suppressed emotions and things because it can lower our vitality to not take full breaths. So do what you need to do to breathe, and use essential oils. Remember the power of breath, and then send those of us who have air to breathe, we need to send our full open hearts of compassion and support to those who don't right now. All of this is about us rising together. We go nowhere alone right now. We are rising together. So whatever our circumstances, we are united in this journey of healing in our collective and for our earth. So thank you so much for your work and for your life and for your showing up. Feel the infusion of a new beginning. Know that everything that is orchestrated here is for the highest and best, and trust every day that the opportunity you have is for the highest and best, and that the universe never gives us more than we can handle. We are on a path of victory, and there is much love for all of us right now, from our non-physical, from our higher selves and our guides and our friends who are supporting us We are the boots on the ground. So we send now to each other our heartfelt appreciation and encouragement and support. And we also call on the leaders in our world, those who are in positions of decision making. We call on them to listen to their highest and best and make the brave decisions to support freedom and life and health and the access to information and truth for all. Thank you for your part in this blessed journey. This is Elizabeth Schermer and the Alchemy Mystery School. If you haven't done so, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I don't always get the newsletters out to my mailing list after these videos are done. So if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you'll always receive notice when the messages get posted. And thank you for also spreading the work. Many blessings.